Carolina's getting a power play pivot here as a defender at $5.3 million, just underneath that. You take that deal all day long if you're trying to replace Tony DeAngelo. You're not going to have to worry about Burns playing top minutes with who they have. Scott can hop in and tell us all about whether it's Slavin or Pesci and the D core that the Hurricanes have. This is a pretty good deal, man, to bring in Burns. I didn't think it was going to be able to swing him out of San Jose. So I'm amazed at the number of players back and forth. Mike Greer is already swinging the hammer around in San Jose.
Yeah, Scott, we kind of cut you off with that analysis on the Brent Burns trade there, and that's a really interesting blue line forming out in Carolina.
Well, and I think Mike makes a good point. Brent Burns doesn't come to Carolina and, where the expectation is he's going to have to play 25 minutes a night. He's just not going to have to do that. And I was doing a little math, always a little dangerous thing on my part, but at 33% of the $8 million, looks to me like $536 million per year that the Canes will have to pay. We know that Tony DeAngelo signed a 2-year deal, $5 million a year in Philadelphia. Burns signed, obviously much older, and has one more year left on his deal. So it all works out financially where the Canes haven't overexposed themselves. I don't think. There are a couple of young defensemen have a chance. Jalen Chatfield, who was playing in Chicago last year, I thought showed very well when he came up and played in the NHL, and will get an opportunity, I'm guessing. You've got Brady Shea, you've got Brett Pesci, Jacob Slavin, you throw Brent Burns into that mix. And even though they'll miss Brendan Smith a great deal as he goes on to New Jersey, there's opportunity for young players to play on the back end. But this is still, to me, one of the top defensive groups in the NHL. Brent Burns will do nothing to diminish that. And I am curious to see how he makes out playing on a team with a lot of offensive upside. He's going to be able to bomb the puck from the point. That's what Tony DeAngelo did. I think this is really going to be a big fit. 37, there's always some question there, but I'm curious now, how does Carolina follow up in terms of plugging some significant holes up front? Notably, whether it's a second line center or an impact scorer on the wing. That was something I know they were talking about looking at addressing in the offseason. So it's going to be fun to see Brent Burns come east for the first time in his career.
Yeah, and that's a good point there as well. Carolina, you're right. The help up front is going to be fascinating. This is a team who I thought maybe we'd see them try to add a little bit of star power to that forward group, and now they've lost Oda, they've lost Trocheck, they've likely going to lose a guy like Nino Niederreiter, who's testing the unrestricted free agent market as well. Martin Necas is an RFA, but I really do look at this team who, yes, the blue line is solid. Slavin, Shea, Pesci. Now you add Burns into that mix as well. They're good there. But what are they going to get up front? I just always went back to that kind of being the one thing holding them back from really going on a long run, is that lack of firepower up front. Is that a fair take, Mike?
Yeah. Where's Vladdy Tarasenko? Come on down. Like, you have to have somebody that can just bury. And we've said this for a long time. I really like Sebastian Aho. I think that he is a tremendous hockey player. And if he's in a market bigger than Carolina, he'd have a lot more admiration around the league, at least in terms of fan base. But he's not the guy who's going to grab the puck, go end to end, and put it in the net if you need to, or be the guy that you have to put it on his blade on a power play for a goal. Like, he's a part of that, but he's not the answer to it. And that's where I just couldn't help but look at it this year and thinking, boy, stack up Svechnikov, Aho, Tarasenko, or whoever else you take your pick on a scoring piece. I thought Philip Forsberg would have been a good bet there too, but he's re-upped in Nashville. Like, they need someone in Carolina that can finish. And it's starting to look like free agency may not be that, and even via trade route, how many are left. So I like this. This is cost-effective management to go out and get Brent Burns like this. But at some point, cost-effective's got to go out the window, and you got to bring in somebody, and sometimes you got to pay for it.